Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a tough love message today. It's one that needs to be heard. I can tell you when I gave it at a conference recently, I had people coming up afterward saying, wow, you're right, I need to set limits. And so I'm calling it, hey friends, givers need to set limits. Why? Because takers never do. I'm Deb Sofield. Stay with me. Let's get started with today's show right after the break. So I saw an interesting video recently about a guy who taped $1 and $5 bills and maybe a 10 or 2 to his jacket, and he walked around with a sign that said, "Take what you need." Now, obviously, somebody was videotaping the street interaction, and because the guy was wearing a microphone, you could hear his conversation as people read his sign, looked at him with a question, and then hesitantly took a few bills. All the while, he would say to people as he walked up and down the street to go ahead, take what you need. 9 out of 10 people would take $1 or 2 and say, I could use this for the subway or the bus. A few homeless people took a little more money at his insistence to buy a meal. All the while, this guy is encouraging the homeless or elderly or whoever he's talking to take a little more, to which most did not because, as they would say, someone else might need this gift. Most everyone said thank you or something nice as they pocketed the money, looked at him with appreciation and gratitude, and then it happened. A well-dressed man walked up, didn't say a thing, but started taking almost all the money off the guy's jacket, to which the guy said, "Hey man, you don't look like you need the money." The guy grunted and replied, "It's free money, right? Then I'm taking it." And he did. He probably peeled off about $20 or more quickly and selfishly, and he didn't even say thank you. In the video, it looks like he somewhat chided the Good Samaritan for being such a loser. And then he walked away. And you can see him stuffing the money in his nice overcoat with his fancy briefcase. I don't know what it is about that video that makes me smile and then makes me furious. It wasn't my money. I don't even know the Good Samaritan, nor did I know anyone who took a few dollars to buy a meal or a bus ticket. But that one guy, because he could, he did. Remember, the sign said, "Take what you need." Not what you want, but he didn't care. So today, as you go about your business and I share my thoughts, I want to step out of my normal encouraging role to be a warning for some of you and a conscience for the rest of you. Why? Friend, hear me. Givers need to set limits because takers never do. Some of you listening today, you give and you give and you give. And while that is wonderful this year, because it's a big year for a lot of reasons, I'm asking you to set some limits. The world is on the move and seemingly on fire in so many places. Financial markets are teetering up one day, plunging the next. And many people are coming dangerously close to letting fear rule their lives due to the crimes against humanity that we see almost daily. Listen, I can appreciate your goodness and kindness, and please, I'm not asking you to stop. I'm simply asking that you, in this day and time, please understand the wise words from the book of Matthew found in the Bible. In the midst of wolves all around you, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Friend, setting limits is a balancing act. Tilt the scale in the wrong direction, and you'll be ground into dust by those who deem themselves above the rules of decorum and appropriateness. Unfortunately, either they were not taught well or they chose to be greedy, selfish, self-centered insects, because that's who they are. See, they've convinced themselves there's only so much in the world and they must take it all, since they bought into the marketplace make-believe world of scarcity and not abundance or plenty. The odd fact is the limit for so many today is not the sky, but in their mind. And you and I can rarely change a limited mindset. I believe you have an obligation to honor yourself because of your intrinsic value and self-worth. Friend, you must set limits on how you will allow others to treat you. Remember the old saying, people learn how to treat you based on what you accept from them. If you truly believe that you have value, wouldn't you walk away from those people in your life who don't recognize your worth? I saw a quote that said, humble enough to know I'm not better than anyone, and wise enough to know that I'm different from the rest. When you're wise enough to know, you'll tip the scales in the right direction. You know, I often speak about the big idea that you need to set limits on how you allow others to speak to you, including family members. Because words matter. They can heal or they can hurt. And once said, they can never be taken back. Even the best of us who choose to forgive know it's hard to forget because deep love or deep hate sets things in motion in the heart that can never be reversed. I believe it's important that you set limits on what you allow others to take from you, whether it be your time or your talent, because givers need to set limits since takers never do. They will show you no regard for your value. I love the quote, "Give the gift of absence to those who do not appreciate your presence." A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. By setting limits or boundaries, you will survive the fight and come out victorious in the end to continue to do good deeds that you're called to do for others. The key is what you are called to do, not what others demand you do for them. So I mentioned that today. I want to be a friendly warning for those of you who give way too much, and a conscience for the rest of you who take it all. As you're listening to my words, some of you may be angry with me since I'm calling out the takers of this world. Hey, if you fit what my words describe, I do understand that today. I'm not your favorite person, but hear me. I'd rather be a thorn in your side than let you continue down the stream that is pulling you away from the safety of the shore. I say this because you will eventually drown, and no one, hear me, no one will be willing to risk their life to save you, because by your own actions, you, my friend, have proven you're not worthy. I hear from people all the time, seriously, all the time, who say to me that they deserve this, or they merit that, or they should be given a break because they didn't have, you can fill in the blank of all their issues of needs and wants and desires. For most of those takers, they believe everyone else is at fault, including, but not limited to, parents, grandparents, teachers, coaches, pastors, friends, partners, spouses, and children who didn't love, appreciate, or acknowledge them the way they wanted to be valued. So now they are wild with demands toward family and friends and strangers as to what they think and demand they deserve. But I'm here to tell you that while some win in the short run of taking everything they can wrap their greedy arms around, eventually, most who live that lie of excess will die empty, hollow, and purposeless, no matter what great building or monument or edifice to their ego they leave behind. Why? Because no one, hear me, no one likes a taker. No one respects a taker. No one will go to the mat to protect, defend, or honor a taker. Your life, your choice. I understand that. But stop and think about this. When the givers finally wise up and stop giving, there will be nothing for you to take. And then you'll be staring at the bottom of empty. And that'll be the end of the line, leaving you with nothing, nada, nil. I never believe it when people say they're happy to be all alone, or they're okay with being mean and angry or snarky because that's just who they are. Take them or leave them. Oh my goodness, if I hear that one more time from some kid on TikTok, I'm gonna scream. All right, interestingly enough, everyone eventually leaves them because no one in their right mind would or should put up with that brand of crazy. Life is too short to live being miserable. And I'm not talking about the day you take your last breath. Your actions affect you now. And if you're honest with yourself, you know that it would be so much better to whisper someone's name than continue to live your empty life shouting out your own name. Friend, if you're a taker, you'll be able to tell by the echo that no one, and I mean no one, will be listening. So, givers who are listening today, please respect yourself and set some limits so you can, by your own wish and desire, give to those who would appreciate you and honor you with thanks. And takers, be aware, we are spreading the word to cut you off, so you'll be forced to face who you are and then choose who you want to be. And friend, hear me, while there is still time, I want to encourage you to choose wisely. Why? Because life's a choice. And we're watching, and your days are numbered. All right, tough love, I know it. And some of you are unhappy with me, and that's okay. I've got plenty of people who are, I'm sure. But I will say there is nothing more disturbing when I see good people just give until they're broken. And the selfish one takes it all and demands more. Really chips me off. Don't do that in my presence. You will not like what I have to say. All right, all that to say, I'm glad you joined me today. I try to do positive, uplifting messages, and in a weird way, I think this one is. I just want to remind both sides of this coin what's ultimately going to happen. And I want you to have a better life. But friend, that only happens when you stop and see the life you have, the person you've become, and then think about, when it's all said and done, who's actually going to show up for you. And that choice can be made starting today. Believe it or not, you've been listening to Deb Sofield's encouragement for your rockstar amazing life. And I hope you'll join me next week so we can continue the journey together as we work towards a better day. And remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know that I care about you, and I care about you because I believe once you realize that givers need to set limits, friend, it changes everything. And here's my promise. I'm going to walk alongside you as we push back against the takers so you can follow the dream you've always had for your life to a better day. All right. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody. Join me next week.